What's up, everybody? I'm Chakits Krulsawat with Simply Vegas, your Las Vegas realtor. On today's video vlog, I'm going to show you how to analyze an investment property. So for today's video vlog, we're going to be talking about rental investment property. This one is going to come up on the market here shortly, but I'm going to show you how to analyze a rental property here in Las Vegas. Now, the backstory with this property is that I noticed that there was a tenant in place. Now, this tenant, I seen them move on out a couple of days ago. So I decided, should I contact the owner or send out a mailer to the owner of the property to see if they would be interested in selling this property. However, a couple days later, I've noticed that there was a electronic lockbox. Now, when you have electronic lockbox, that tells me that a listing agent had probably already listed this property. So what I did was I jumped on the MLS, which is the multiple listing service. This website has access to all the properties, so all the realtors will list their properties or even rental properties into the system, which is linked up to Realtor.com, Zillow, Trulia, Redfin, and all those other companies. So what I did was I pulled up the address and I noticed that it came up as a rental. I'm sorry, it came up for sale, but I noticed that the agent had withdrew this listing 10 days, right? As soon as it hit the market. So what I did was I contacted the agent to find out what is going on with this property. So basically the agent gave me the backstory, the history. So what happened was, as the tenants were currently vacating the property, she decided to list the property on the market, but had to withdraw it after 10 days because of the tenancy laws here in Clark County. The tenants did not want to show the property, and that was completely fine. So they decided just to take the property off the market until it was completely vacant, and they're going to relist it on the market. However, come to find out that the property does need some work to the property. So I know that the owner has to do some rehab. So I basically explained to her that, hey, I'm a cash buyer. I'm interested in the property. Before you even put it on the MLS, let me go take a look at it. So that way I'll be the first one to analyze this property. So today, I have not seen the interior of the property. So what we're gonna do is go and take a look. We're gonna analyze the property as far as the condition, what needs to be done to the property to get it to rental conditions to maximize the potential of the income, okay? So we're gonna go inside, we're gonna take a look. Now, I haven't seen this property at all, so let's go inside. Now, over here we got the lockbox. Now, this is what I was talking about, the electronic lockbox here. So give me just a second. Can y'all see me? What I want you to do is watch this video until the end, because after we tour this property, I'm gonna show you how to analyze this deal, right? And compare this deal to other properties on the market and what the rental incomes. And I'm also going to show you how I submit an offer and how I analyze a deal, and show you the type of returns that I'm trying to get from this property. So let's go take a tour. Oh, dang. Definitely needs some work. Okay. The fan is off balance. We got some holes, definitely needs paint, carpet. I'm not too sure why this is all in here. Missing some trim here. Wow, they just left and just tore this up. Okay. The cabinets seem to be fairly Why is this thing still going? So definitely the refrigerator, the stove, and the microwave could be replaced. But the problem is that if you replace the microwave, the stove, the refrigerator, then you also have the dishwasher. The total here, it's probably gonna run you about $3,500 depending on the type of brand. Cabinets, okay. I mean, cabinets look to be still in decent shape. Got a slight leak underneath there. There's the garage. Oh wow. And they like really tore this place up. You got ADP cameras. Wow, it looks like they banged this up right there. Crazy. See, this is the thing I'm talking about when you do aftermarket with alarm systems. As you can see, everything is just like all pre-wired, and what they do is just punch holes in everything for the cameras. That just looks like shit. I mean, look at it. That's even the cable. You got another ADT over there. I mean, this is just horrible. You got this water heater looks like the original water heater on here. Definitely has some corrosion. That's not a big deal. All right, let's go inside here. Wow. Man, they really tore this all up. So sad. Definitely need all new carpet, the railings. Now what I'm trying to do is just kind of get a general idea of how much is it going to cost me. We know we got to do the carpets. We got to do paint, baseboards, the whole house. Looks like the washer and dryer is still good here, but it definitely needs a new pan. As far as like changing the color of the cabinet, I don't think about those things just yet, just due to the fact that if we take a look at the rental market in this subdivision, does it justify for me to upgrade the cabinets? And that's what we're gonna look at. So here's the master here. Oh wow, that's gross, them doo-doo stains. Okay. So this is the master. Oh, look at that. You got the settling crack coming all the way down there. That looks like this is a crack for a seam. Look at this. Oh, got another one there. For me, I'm not really worried about this. Let's take a look at the half bath. We got lower sinks here. See if the countertop is damaged. Nope. Not bad. So in here, just basically needs to be cleaned. Toilets, sometimes I like to change out the toilets. This could all be refurbished. It's all original to the home built. So this one only has a pre-wire for a ceiling fan. Needs to be painted, okay. So we need some blinds. Take a look at that. Patch the holes in the walls. Let me see here. Okay. Replace the ceiling fan. It's kind of a little weird area, huh? Right there. All right, let's go and analyze this deal. We'll see exactly what it needs here. You know what? Let's go to the backyard real quick. The backyard is also going to be very important, and the reason why is because this property is located in an HOA, and the backyard definitely has to be done. Okay, so this is a lower retaining wall here. Wow. You've got a crack there. Huh. The question is, why is this crack splitting like that? Let's take a look if this is a foundation issue. Really not too worried about that. That could actually be fixed. Landscape in the back here, I would just leave it all rock. You can really tell that the sun beats up on this side of the house. So this home, or this side of the home, is gonna expand and contract a lot here during the winter and summer months. Now also, one thing that I do like to do is when a home sits vacant like this for a while, we know the water hasn't been running, right? But I do like to come to the water meter to check if it's spinning, because if it's spinning, that tells me that there's probably a leak somewhere. So that's something that we would have to look at. All right, so let's take a look at this water meter here. So you see this little dial? That dial's not spinning. So that means there's no leak in this house, which is a good thing. One of the first things that I like to do is analyze the property in detail and find out, you know, the square footage, the year it was built, what the owner had paid for the property. So as you can see here, 119 Manor House. This is where I was telling you earlier in the video that the property was listed for $280,000, but it was only on the market for 27 days here, but the tenant did not want to show the property. So again, they took the property off the market as a withdrawal. But now, unfortunately, there's no pictures of the property, but you guys did see the video of the property. But this is the reason why I really like the property, because when it comes down to investment properties, and what really intrigued me with this property is because of the location. So as you can see here, I'm going to zoom out just a little bit more. Here is the whole Las Vegas Valley, right? So this is the west side of town. So SUMMERLIN Mass Plan Community is here. We have North Las Vegas. This is South Las Vegas. This is the east side, and Henderson is located right here. As we zoom in, and this is the reason why this property had really piqued my interest, even though it would be a little bit more than what I would want to pay for it. But I see in the long run, I see potential here because of the location. So here are the benefits of this property. As you know, real estate, what it comes down to is location, location. That's the primary thing, or one of the things that you should be looking at. So this home right here is located in this small little community right here. This is a gated community with the pool located right here. Here's the front gate, and I think you have about 134 homes in this area. Now as I zoom out a little bit more, I want to show you the main cross street here is Las Vegas Boulevard and Warm Springs. Right here is your outlet premium mall. So what happens is a lot of tourists will come here and go shopping and stuff. This is like one of the places where everybody goes. As you can see how close this is to the mall. Now this tells me that this location is a very trendy location, so it's a very hot spot. But I've noticed within this community there are a lot of people that work on the strip, or there's also a lot of entrepreneurs too as well in this community. You don't have too many kids running around. So as you can see, there's also Las Vegas Boulevard right here. Okay. Now the Las Vegas sign, welcome to the Las Vegas sign, starts right here. This is where we have Mandalay Bay, and here's your casino to the strip. So you can see how close this home is right next to Las Vegas Boulevard. Also, what I really do like about this home is you have the 215 and the 15. You're able to jump on the freeway less than a couple minutes, and this gives you access to the whole Las Vegas Valley within minutes of driving time. In addition to that, you do have the airport here, McCarran International. So this would be great for like flight attendants, if you want to do Airbnb. However, please check with the county coordinates as far as Airbnb. But as far as like overall, this is such a great location. Now, when it comes to flight paths, you may hear some planes flying through. So a lot of times planes will come this way, land here, and also take off here. You got planes coming from the east side, landing and taking off to the west side here. So you don't hear it too much. However, for me, the lifestyle here is more of a trendy type of neighborhood, so that shouldn't be a problem. Now, if we take a look as far as grocery stores, if we come down here on Warm Springs, you have your shopping center too down here, or you can hit a Walmart right here on Eastern and Warm Springs. Just come down Warm Springs, go up Eastern, and you have all your shopping here. You also have shopping here too, as well as a neighborhood Walmart and also in Albertsons. So this property is very conveniently located. Now, the other thing that I really love about this property is right across the street from Russell, right here, this is where the stadium is being built, and that should be ready to go by the end of this year, I'm hoping. Now, the other benefit here, if you bought a property here and you took a look at the county plot maps and zoning coordinates of what's going on, right? I'm going to zoom in just a little bit because this is the Las Vegas Strip right here, right? All right here is all zoned for M1. So basically this is all zoned for casino. That's right, casino. So you may not reap the rewards right now, but if you're willing to gamble and take that chance in the near future, oh, if they start building casinos here, whole nother level. You're gonna make so much money. Now, this is based upon speculation. Now, the other thing is that when I do buy investment properties, I don't really get emotionally involved. However, this one is a little bit kind of pulling towards my heartstrings just because of the location, and I know what is to come in the near future. However, I normally buy properties based upon cash flow, and we're going to get into that in just a second as far as running the rental comps and seeing what the rental comps are. I normally buy investment properties that will yield me at least a 16% return. However, in today's market, you're not going to get a 16% return, even though if you leverage out your money and you did financing. So now let's get into the rentals, and I'm going to show you how I analyze the rentals. Okay, let's take a look at a couple things. Number one, we know that this property was built in 2007 here. Okay, and let's take a look at the square footage, because the square footage is going to be very important. It is 408 square feet, okay? 3 bedrooms, total of 2.5 baths, 2-car garage, okay? Let's see exactly what the owners paid for this. So you're gonna go to the clarkcounty.gov, you're gonna do property search, you're gonna see what they paid for it, okay? And this is important because this is gonna help you negotiate your offer. So as you can see, here's the owner of the property, the location. And again, you can go to Clark County, you're gonna go on a property search, and you're gonna hit real property parcel records, okay? Now, this shows you that this was purchased for $138,500 at that time in 2009. So this gentleman actually bought this property rock bottom pricing. First thing we're gonna do is find out the rental comps. So we're gonna do comps, we're gonna put in the subdivision. We're gonna do currently everything that is active for lease. And also, so as you can see right here on the screen, let me make this a little bit bigger. As you can see right here on the screen, 145 Carnation. The seller is asking, or I'm sorry, the landlord is asking $1,350 for a 1,300 square feet home. Okay, so it looks like on Daxford here, they're asking $1,400 for 1,666 square feet. And Lionheart, they're asking $1,650. However, as you can see right here, the ones with all the L's here, these are actually all leased. The only ones that are on the market right now for rent is the Carnation for $1,350. So if I take a look at all of this, basically this tells me it rents roughly about $1 a square foot. Let's take a look at the conditions of these homes compared to the conditions of the home that we may be making an offer on. And the reason why this is important because we want to know what type of upgrades that they did to the property, and we need to know what type of upgrades we need to do to the property in order to get our rent to where it needs to be, and that's going to dictate how much of a cost it's going to cost us to do the rehab to this property. So with the Carnation, let's take a look at this one. So this one for Carnation here, as you can see, everything is pretty much all stock and standard, almost in the same condition, right, as the property that we looked at. However, this one is cleaner versus this one that we just looked at. So this was actually the original build, okay? But it's been on the market for 14 days. But the good news is, if we look at the average days in the market with this neighborhood, because based upon location, it rents less than 20 days in this neighborhood if it's actually priced correctly on the rentals. So no upgrades have been done to this property. So let's take a look at the next one. So it looks like this is all original too as well. And this one rented out for $1,400. And this model is the 1666 square feet. Okay. Let's take a look at the next one. Now this is not the backyard here. This is actually the community pool. This is the 1666 model again. Rented out for $1,650. This one has some laminate flooring. So this one is not that bad. So this just tells me right off the get-go, you're renting out $1 a square foot. So we know we can get $1,400 for this property. So make a note of that. So we're gonna write $1,400 down because that's what we know that we can get, okay? Now the next step is, I always like to run the comps and kind of see where we are at with the comps, what the property's worth. So we're gonna go to residential. We're gonna do 180 days, everything that's currently active for sale. We're gonna enter Stonehaven Commons on here. So there's 6 properties. So basically, within the last 180 days, there were 4 properties that have sold. So it looks like it sold anywhere from $184 a square foot all the way up to $220 a square foot on the smaller models. So $220 a model, okay? So basically, if I did, right, best case scenario, 220 times 1,408 square foot, that means you can literally sell this home for about $310,000 just the way it is after the rehab. However, one of the things that we need to do is take a look at the condition of the homes that have been sold. Is it just the standard original at the time of the build, or do we need to do the upgrades to the home? So let's take a look at this. So for this one, is a single story, so it's going to cost more, obviously. It does have a backyard, jacuzzi that's done. Okay. All standard in the interior except the flooring has been upgraded. Ceiling fans, they painted the cabinets white, which is really nice. Now, this one right here, you can't go off of the single story. So we're going to take this, another one, same model match. It's 1408. Okay, 34 days on the market. So let's take a look at this. This one had recently sold. Same model match. So if we take a look at the same model match here, the backyard, the ones that we want to make an offer on, now it's a little slightly bigger. Now, as you can see, this one has a pony wall on the stair railing. The one that we looked at was upgraded, so that's a plus. I do like this floor plan a little bit better. Does have some upgrades, corner lot here. So this one sold for $121 a square foot. I'm sorry, $221 a square foot. And it just recently sold, so that's a good thing. So what I like to do is let's take an average. So it looks like if we took a look at the solds, average sales about $195 to $191 for the medium price point. So if we took $191, okay, 191 times 1,408 gives us 270,000. So this is how the owner of the property is listing the property right now. So fair market value is 270,000 for fair market value, right? The owner of this property right now, based upon the condition it is in, they are asking 280,000. I don't think it's worth 280,000. We know at fair market value, by bringing back the home based upon the current standard conditions at the time of the build, as we can see through the comps here, there's really no upgrades that have been done. We need to start off at the 270. Now we need to start chipping away at what needs to be done. We know we need a brand new towel rack, you need all new carpeting, you need drywall that needs to be done, right? You need paint that needs to be done, 4 ceiling fans, blinds, and all brand new appliances. So you're gonna calculate that and also minus from 270 because that's fair market value. In addition to that, you need to figure out with labor costs too as well. And if you do it yourself, your time does have value. So you need to figure that on out and add that into the equation. You also have closing costs as well. So we're gonna figure all that out, and we're gonna figure out how much all that is gonna cost. Now let's talk about cost. How much is this gonna cost for rehab? So as we went through the video tour, I did take some notes and I'm gonna break down the cost, but I'm not gonna break it down into detail in this video. I don't wanna drag out this video too long. However, I'm just gonna kind of give you a quick idea of the total cost. So the towel rack is just only a couple bucks, okay? Now the carpet. Now carpet throughout the whole house, this is what I do. We know that the home is 1,408 square feet. So you're always gonna take carpet and you wanna kind of go on the lower grade with the carpet, okay? And the reason why you always go lower grade on the carpet because of the wear and tear. However, what I personally like to do is throw laminate on the second floor. And the reason why we throw laminate on the second floor is because if you do tile without doing the hardy back, right, you're gonna break the tile. In addition to that, if you do tile upstairs, you're gonna be required to do the hardy back, so that way you don't break the tile, but it's gonna cost you more money. So I definitely like to do the laminate flooring and carpet downstairs sometimes, but in this case, we're gonna do all tile, all downstairs, because I want this property to last as long as it can. So I'm gonna incorporate vinyl and insulation for tile. So we know it is about 1,000 1,408 square feet. With tile insulation and laminate, I roughly can get it at a good price, right? With the insulation around $8 a square foot. And the tile and also the laminate is a little bit more upgrade. And that's the thing that I realize is that with rental properties, you want to be a slightly better condition than every other property that is out there, okay? So now we're going to take 1,408 times $8 a square foot. So now we are at 11,264, okay? Now, drywall, some of the drywalls that need to be done inside of the garage and also on the exterior of the house, I'm gonna call that roughly about 500 bucks. Okay. Now, when it comes to paint, my paint guy, I can get it anywhere from $1.50 to $2.50, just depending. However, for this case, we're gonna be painting all the baseboards, all the doors, all the ceilings, right? And interior of the home, even inside the garage. So we know that it is 1,408 square feet times $2 a square foot, and I like to go on the high side, so it comes down to 2816. Ceiling fans, we're gonna need 4 ceiling fans. There's 3 bedrooms upstairs, right, and there's 1 downstairs. But I like all the ceiling fans to match. So the ceiling fans I can purchase around about $150, plus another $100 for installation. So that's 4 ceiling fans at $250. Now that's $1,000, okay? You definitely want to get an electrician in there to do it properly. Now the appliance packages, it really depends on which, if you go to Lowe's, Home Depot, depending on the sale. Typically, I just like to do the standard black or the stainless steel. That would run me about $3,500. That includes the refrigerator, dishwasher, the stove, and also the microwave. So that's $3,500. Okay, and the blinds throughout the house, normally those type of blinds, they go anywhere from about $100 per window, roughly. So we know there's a total about 10 windows throughout the house. So I'm gonna say about $1,000, not including the installation. If you're gonna do the installation, now you're gonna have your handyman do it. It's probably gonna run about $350. So we're gonna be doing $1,350. So now we're gonna calculate all this as far as the rehab. So now it is 11,264 plus 500 plus 2,816 plus another 45 plus another 1,350. So we know the total rehab right now is 20,430. So we know that this home is only worth 270 minus, right? I'm just gonna make it flat even 20,000 minus 20,000. Now we're at 250 right now. So we know that by me going in this home, I would have to offer 250. It's gonna cost me $20,000 to get it up and running, so that way I can rent out the property immediately. Okay, so let's just say if I decided to purchase the property at 250, however, you do have closing costs involved too as well. In this case, I would be paying cash, so my closing cost is going to be about $2,000. So we're going to minus the $2,000. So now we're at $248,000, which I would have to offer. Now let's go back to the rental comps. Okay, now the rental comps, we know that we can rent this out for $1,400 a month guaranteed. Okay, however, I want my tenants to stay in the property as long as they can. So normally what I like to do is rent out the property for about $50 less or maybe even $100 less to keep it on the conservative side. The reason why we do this is because you don't want to maximize your rents, right? With everybody else, the tenants move and it takes you 1 more month to get another tenant in, or 2 months, especially if you have a mortgage payment. I like to keep it low enough based upon the whole market area, so that way if they decide they want to move, it's going to cost them more money to do the move versus just staying in the property because the rents are just a little bit lower. So now rental comps, that takes me down to $1,300 as far as my cash flow. And this is the most important part. So we know rents are $1,400, but I'm going to drop it about $100 a month. So now we are left with $1,300 a month. Now, as you can see here on your screen, taxes are roughly about 16, well it's actually 1584, so I'm gonna make this a little bit more easy for you guys. Now keep in mind the ROI, which is the return on investment, this is only gonna be based upon a cash deal because I'm gonna be paying cash for this property. So if we take 1,584 divided by 12, that gives me $132 for taxes a month. So we're gonna minus that, minus 1,300. I'm left off with $1,168 for cash flow. So now we have insurance. So for insurance, I like to have a little bit more insurance covered than anything. So insurance is roughly gonna be about $68. Let's just say, yeah, $68 a month. So insurance, $68 a month. Now we are down to $1,100 a month. Now, when you are a landlord here in the state, one of the things that you're gonna do, you're gonna include within your payment, right, trash and sewage. You're not gonna rely on the tenant to pay the trash and the sewage, because when you close out on a deal, there's a voluntary lien that's attached to the property. So if they don't make the payment, now you're gonna get hit with dings and fees, and you may not know it until you start getting letters of foreclosures. Now, every quarter, it's roughly about $60 to $70 a month. So if we take, let's just say 120 with trash and the sewage, right? 120 divided by 3, that's about what, $30 a month? No, $40 a month. So now we're gonna minus the $40 a month, okay? So now, your cash flow now is $1,060 a month at this time. Okay. Now we have HOAs in this community. HOAs are $68. However, I'm going to say it's just roughly 90 bucks to make it easier. So now, keep in mind we are at what? $1,060 on a cash flow minus $90. So now we're making $970 a month on the cash flow. So now that we have this cash flow of $970 a month, let's take a look. Let's take a look at what our ROI is, our return on investment. So if we took 970 times 12 months equals 11,640, all right? That's our cash flow. This is our net operating income with all the expenses done, not including property management. However, I'm not adding property management on here because I like to manage my own properties, and the tenants that I do screen, I don't have any problems with rent or any type of problems. And I will talk about that in a different video, how to find the right tenant and also keep the tenant in place for years, and how to find a good tenant that's going to take care of your property. So now I'm going to take 11,640 divided by 270,000. The reason why we're going to go back to the 270,000 is because of the total cost and the rehab. So we take that number divided by 270,000 equals a 4.3% return. I mean, that's not bad in today's market. However, okay, again, I talked about getting a 16% return, but obviously, if you want to know what you have to pay for on a property based upon the type of returns that you're looking for, the math is very simple. Let me show you. So we know that the net operating income, when the dust settles with all the fees being paid, I'm going to make $11,640 a year. But let's say if I wanted a 16% return, right? Because that's my cap. So we're going to take 11,640, right? Divided by a 16% return. That means I would have to pay $72,750 for this property in order for me to get a 16% return. However, I understand today's market, I'm only going to make about a 4% return based upon the offer that I'm going to submit. However, I'm willing to take that chance based upon the location. And right now, my money is really not working for me because the money is sitting in the bank. And that's why, as an investor, you need to understand the market, the rules of the game. And in addition to that, you have to understand where you stand financially, and you need to see what the game is played, or you have to play your game, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. There's really no rule of thumb. Now guys, I really hope you find this video very valuable to you. If so, let me know in the comments below if you guys would like more videos like this. If you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Also give me a thumbs up and I will let you know how this deal pans out. So we're gonna go ahead and submit an offer right now. Other than that, thanks so much for watching. I'm Chakits Krulsawat with Simply Vegas, and have a blessed day.